Hello, hello. Welcome back to Unstuck. I'm Robin Goldenberg. If you're a business owner trying to build a company that doesn't rely on chaos, luck, or brute force, you are in the right place. Welcome. In the last few episodes, we've talked about what strategy really is and what it isn't. We've talked about making clear choices, aligning your team, and using your plan to actually take action. We've also covered how to find the real leverage point in your business, that one bottleneck that, if solved, makes everything easier. But what happens when you need to zoom out? When you want to make sure that your strategy actually touches every part of your business? That's what we're talking about today. How I build strategy across the six core business functions: sales, marketing, finance, operations, HR, and leadership. What we at Strategy Leaders call the six sisters. So let's break it down. Here's why this matters. Most business owners build strategy in a silo. They focused on what's loudest. Sales are slow, marketing's not working, we need more people. So the strategy gets reactive and the business stays unbalanced. But your business is a system. So each function either supports or strains the others. And if one area is underdeveloped or undermanaged, it becomes your ceiling, even if the rest is working. So, when I help a business get clear, we build a strategy across all six sisters, not in isolation, not all at once, but all considered. So, let's go one by one. I'll share the role of each function, what strategy looks like inside it, and what goes wrong when it's ignored. And hey, if you want to talk more about an area of the business or all areas of the business, I would love to. So, please reach out to me and we can chat. So let's jump into sales. So the role of sales is revenue engine. So some of the strategy questions that I would ask going into this is, who are we selling to? What are we selling? And how are we converting consistently? When it's missing, you chase random opportunities. You close rates are inconsistent and revenue feels lumpy, right? Up downs, up downs, up downs. So we fix it by clarifying your offer, tightening qualification of leads, and systematizing your follow up. So I'm going to give you a little client example. A client had a high lead volume, but poor sales conversion. So we adjusted the qualifying questions and simplified the proposal process. Revenue doubled in 3 months. As we jump into marketing, the role of marketing really is demand generation. It builds that top of funnel. You'll hear that from marketing people. So, some of the strategy questions that we ask are, how are we generating awareness and leads? What's actually working? And is marketing aligned with the sales process? And when that's missing, you get random leads, you waste time on content that doesn't convert, or depend entirely on referrals. So, we fix this by getting clear on positioning, choosing 1 to 2 core channels. You don't have to be everywhere, and creating marketing that filters, not just attracts. So, a client note here is that strategy means not doing 12 things poorly, but doing 2 things well and tracking what moves. And I have that conversation a lot with clients when they come on board, when I'm their fractional CMO, is that we don't have to be everywhere. We don't have to do everything, especially if doing everything means we do it poorly. Ultimately, we want to share the best representation of our company where it matters, where our customers are to drive sales. So let's jump into finance. Finance role is to manage profit and decision clarity. So some of the strategy questions that we ask when we're talking about finance strategy is, what does profitable growth look like to you? What metrics actually matter? And where are we bleeding? So when finance strategy is missing, you're growing broke. You're busy, but you can't afford to hire, or worse, you don't know what it costs to grow. So we fix that by getting tight on margins, aligning spend with strategy, and building a budget that reflects your actual priorities as a business and as a business owner. A messy P&L and a messy balance sheet will kill even the smartest strategy. And then operations. The role here is execution and scale. So when we look at operations and we're thinking about strategy, some of the questions I would ask is, how do we deliver consistently and well? What's repeatable in our process versus what's custom? And where are things breaking? And when these things are missing, you're reinventing the wheel with every client. Your team is overwhelmed and the business depends on you to hold it together. So we fix this by creating process, not just people, documenting workflows, and building systems that scale without burning out your team. The truth is, if ops can't hold the growth, strategy stalls out every time. When we look at HR and team management, this is really looking at capacity and culture. So, some of the questions that we'll ask here is, do we have the right people? Are their roles clearly defined? And can the team execute without me, without the owner? When this is missing, you as the owner, you're over involved. Your hires underperform, and no one really owns anything fully, which ultimately means that you as the owner get stuck with things that you shouldn't be doing. So we fix it by defining what success looks like in each role, building clarity around decision rights, and creating a hiring plan that supports the business, not just fills the gaps. Strategy in HR is about capacity, not just headcount. And then let's jump into leadership. So, the role of leadership is vision, clarity, and decision making. So, some of the questions that I work with my clients are: am I leading or am I reacting? Do I know what to say no to? And am I building something I want to keep running? When that's missing, you burn out. Your team spins, and everything depends on your energy. So we fix this by getting clear on your role as a business owner, making cleaner decisions, and creating space to lead, not just to respond. This part of the business is often the most neglected, but the most powerful layer of your business and the most powerful part of your strategy. So let's talk about how to use this. You don't need a perfect plan for all six tomorrow, but you do need visibility into all six in the next couple months. This is how I help clients build long term strategy. We zoom out, we assess all six areas, all six sisters. We find the weakest link, and we build towards balance. So I want you to ask yourself, which of these six feels strongest to you right now? Sales, finance, marketing, operations, HR, leadership. And which one is quietly breaking your momentum? That's where we start. So if you've been stuck reacting to what's loud, that's totally normal. I see it all the time. I've been there. I know how it feels. Quite honestly, sometimes I still go there, right? We're going to react to what's on fire, but it's on fire because we didn't plan, right? We weren't prepared for this. We didn't work proactively on our strategy. So now we're reacting to things that are happening. But now you've got a lens. Every business at every stage runs on these six functions, and real strategy considers all of them, not just one screaming the loudest. What you'll find a lot is when people make strategy, and you might have consultants coming in, they tend to focus on one thing: operations, sales, finance, whatever that might be. But ultimately, we need to look at everything. So next week, we're going to dig deeper into one of these: focus. I'm going to walk you through what it actually means to focus and how most business owners get it wrong. So, if today gave you clarity, share it with someone who's building. And as always, subscribe, leave a review, and keep building a business that works, not one that just looks good on paper. And let's get unstuck.